Hello guys, welcome to the FPL Manual Podcast show with your host, the FPL Manual. My name is Wale and where's the webcam? Yes. This is my face. Welcome to the FPL Manual Podcast show. And for the last 2 to 3 weeks from the international break, I have been writing consistently about Champions League fantasy, and it's upon us. We are here to talk about Champions League fantasy. So if you are tuning in for the first time, once more, my name is Wale Additional, but you can just call me Wale. That's easy. Wale, Wale. So we are recording right now both on the podcast show and for our YouTube audience. We are currently on YouTube at the FPL Manual Podcast. So just the same name, just search for it, you find it there. And what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about Champions League fantasy. We are the champions. Champions League is back. I'm very excited. You guys need to understand something. Like, this is my favorite fantasy ever. Like, I don't care about FPL. FPL, go and sit down somewhere. Most of the times, it always mess you up. So, but Champions League fantasy always have a way of not disappointing. And yes, we are back. Big games ahead. Bayern versus Man U, PSG versus Dortmund, AC Milan versus Newcastle. Then the other smaller games like Leipzig, Young Boys, Leipzig, Man City, and Cruvena, and so on and so forth. So, what am I doing here? Why are we here? Why have you tuned in? We're going to talk about top picks heading into the first match day 1 for Champions League Fantasy. And I'm going to be referencing a lot of the write-ups I've done on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, this will look like fresh content. But basically, I'm going to be referencing most of the write-ups I've done on Twitter concerning under the radar picks, who you should consider, some nice differentials, budget picks, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you guys for a while. However, let's talk about the results from last weekend. So on my screen here, we have the top results from last weekend, and I'll be adding a few. So on Friday, we had Bayern versus Leverkusen 2-2. In fact, let me just go to the post on Twitter because I posted this very, very recently. This looks more visually entertaining. So we have Bayern versus Leverkusen 2-2, PSG versus Nice, PSG lost 2-3, and Mandora versus Porto 1-0, KVC Westerlo versus Antwerp won 3-0, West Ham versus Man City won 3-1, Barcelona won 5-0, where João Felix, Lewandowski, even Cancelo and Ferran Torres, a lot of players were on the score sheet. High scoring game. Watch out for Barcelona assets. Inter Milan, big game in the Milan derby. Inter won 5-1. Feyenoord won 6-1. A lot of results here, but I'll just pick the major ones that happened on Saturday. Leipzig won 3-0 against Augsburg. Dortmund won 4-2. Galatasaray won 4-2 also. Atletico Madrid lost at the same as Man U. Then Newcastle, then Juventus also won on Saturday. Then today, Sunday, this is not among the features here, but on Sunday also we had teams like, what is the name now? Real Madrid getting a win against Real Sociedad. Kubo gave an assist, also scored, but was ruled offside due to the clear impeding the goalkeeper's vision. And Bellingham was also involved in the creativity of the team. Very solid game. Real Madrid did well to come back. So yeah, those were the results from last weekend or this weekend that just passed. So basically, as I said, I'm going to be reflecting on the past work I have done so far. So in this set, I'll just be reading out our top budget picks. You can see there's a thread on that already. Top budget picks, players under the radar, who to consider, and I will head into my draft team. What my team will look like by this time the season starts. Yes. So let's start with our top budget picks. Hope you guys can see me. I'm recording, so I'm not sure. So top budget picks, let's go. One of my top budget picks, last year we had a few players who were priced lower and they became gems, likes of Di Marchio was priced at 4.5 then. Joe Mario 6M. So, but this year I decided to make my budget picks around the 4.5, 5M, not up to 5.5 million in all the positions except the four positions. So one of the major top budget picks is Takefisa Kubo, or Takekubo as they call him now. As of today, he got an assist. However, the winger has started for most games for Real Sociedad in the last 4 to 5 games now, scoring 3 goals, providing 2 assists now, and his expected minutes is guaranteed. First 3 games against Inter, Salzburg, and Benfica. His price is 5 million. So if you're looking for a forward in your team that will give you a little bit of luxury to shift the budget elsewhere, let's say you have Harry Kane, you have Haaland obviously, or one of Haaland or Lewandowski, and you're trying to you want to have a stronger midfield, you don't really know how to share your funds, you can take out any player you have there and put Takefisa Kubo as an option. I actually like him, but the schedule is not really friendly for a Sociedad team as they have not consistently been playing Champions League of late. So a watch and see, but I'm actually tempted to get him into my team. Moving on, due to the fact that I don't want to spend more than 20 minutes, I should have started my timer. God, let me start my timer. 20 minutes. So this is going to be for 20 minutes. Yes, 20 minutes. I don't spend more than 20 minutes or less. 20 minutes start. So I have a timer here. So I'll be skipping through all this. You can check them on my Twitter account at the FPL Manual, and I'll be moving down to the midfielders. 4.5 to 5 million range. We have Joao Neves. Joao Neves is the 18-year-old Benfica central midfielder / DM, but more of a CM. He plays regularly of late for Benfica, and his price at 4.5 million. Are you looking for a 4.5 million player? This could be your guy. Neves has started the last 5 out of 6 games now for Benfica, ahead of Florentino Luis, playing as a CM and providing about an assist or so. Yes, in those games. He plays beside Koku in the midfield there. So him and Koku are like the major CMs. I don't know when Florentino Luis will break into the first team, but a Benfica fan has advised that we should watch this space carefully. There is a chance that they could rotate Luis, who is more experienced for tougher games in the Champions League. And the first 3 games are one against Salzburg at home, Inter away, and Sociedad at home. So Benfica basically have had a 100% go home win record in the group stage last year, because yes, they finished above PSG if I'm not mistaken. So they have the form, they have the consistency, they have the experience, and they're playing Salzburg. Not an easy game, because Salzburg are yet to lose in the last 4 to 5 months. In fact, Salzburg last loss was in February in the Austrian League. Is it Austrian League now? Yes, Austrian League, yeah. In the Austrian League. I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the Austrian League. So Salzburg are also a formidable team, like of Bistro, the likes of Konate, the likes of... Is this other player? I'm not... is it Kilo? I can't pronounce his name properly. So it's going to be a tick for tag game, but definitely Benfica will see themselves winning. So let me not go off topic. We have Joao Neves as your guy there. Also, someone I did not add on this list and I should have added, but his price was not reviewed until recently, is Luka Ivanusek. Ivanusek. Let me quickly scroll and look for his name. Luka Ivanusek. I pronounced it right? Yes. This is a winger, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves our favorite 4.5. We have a winger, Luka Ivanusek, playing as a left winger for Feyenoord. He recently joined from Dinamo Zagreb. The Croatian international has played the last 2 games, at least started the last 2 games for his new club, and scoring in his home debut against Henevin that they won 6-1. He got on the score sheet, and I don't think he will be dropped, because recently one of the players that is suspended for Feyenoord is their striker, Santiago Jimenez, and We don't know who's going to play up front. Maybe Igor Pixel that will play up front, the Brazilian. I'm not sure. But this makes it more certain that someone like Luka Ivanusek will definitely start the game that they play on 19th tomorrow. That's Tuesday, very soon. So yeah, Luka Ivanusek is also priced at 4.5. Is a starting midfielder for the club. Then, as I said, I have more details on this in my page. So go to my Twitter account, you see more of this. I'll just move down to the defenders and goalkeepers. So for defense, I've not really seen a lot of 4.0 defenders. However, there are a lot of 4.5 defenders that are very good. David Ram, Benjamin Hendrich, I can't pronounce his name properly. Gertruda. Please forgive me if I said something wrong. There's Sergio Dest. There is Damian that a lot of people are doubting will not play and still play the game against the Milan derby. A lot of people are doubting Damian is going to be dropped. But to be honest, the new signing they got, what is his name again now? Pavard from Bayern has not. Why will I drop one of my best players? He has not really proven that is what's starting over Damian. So yeah, a lot of 4.5. There's this older left back that's playing for PSV. Hartman, yes, he had 2 assists. This is 1 win. So there's so many 4.5 players. The 4.0, someone mentioned a Celtic defender that got injured, but I don't know if I want to trust that. So I'm not going to work on that information. Then moving on to the keepers, we have 2 4 million goalkeepers, but however, one of them is now in doubt. The first one is Samuel Suarez. Samuel Suarez had the privilege of playing 3-4 games recently for Benfica, but was dropped on Saturday rather, for Tobin, who just moved from Shakhtar Donetsk to Benfica. So Tobin is 5 million. So that dream seems gone. We'll get more updates on that. However, my favorite 4 million goalkeeper is Alex Remino. Currently, this time he had 4 saves against Real Madrid, and he's basically a save king. He's a save king, and if Real Sociedad can kind of walk their way through their group and get a better standing, I can go for Remino from the start, and who knows, you can catch a penalty and I'll be lucky to have those points. So the games are tough, but for 4 million, I don't mind having him. So there are other keepers to 4.5. There is this PSV keeper, Timon Wellenruta. There is Blaswich. There is Ulrich. I can't pronounce his name. Sev Ulrich, the Bayern keeper. Bayern are okay, but I don't trust their defense. I mentioned this earlier today. Someone was trying to pick on me that why will I call Ulrich a trap? To be honest, Bayern defense is looking very. It's not giving. That is just the word. It's not giving. Let me use the Gen Z language. It's not giving because there are a lot of question marks in the right back. We don't know who is the right back. Is it Lema that is starting, or Mazzari comes on the bench? Kimmich has been deployed there, I think, once in a while, but Kimmich is the CM. It appears that Kimmich is also not so fit, and in his position, Delight has been teased to be playing that position, even though he's not starting as a defender. He's coming from the bench to start there. In defense, we have Kim Min-jae, who is actually very good, but Upamecano will not let him shine because he's moving out of position, making some casual errors once in a while. Davies also was fantastic beginning of the season, but he cost the penalty recently. Ulrich is not the best for saves, so I don't want to go too far into the whole thing. Watch and see for Bayern defense. If I want to go towards that angle, maybe it's the attacking wing backs like Alphonso Davies, but that's that about our top budget picks. So let's look at players under the radar. I'm working with time here, so I will have to do this in the next 15 minutes or less. Players under the radar. We have number 1, we have Di Maria. Di Maria, at the time of posting this, he had 4 goals, 1 assist, but yesterday he had another assist. So in the last 6 games, Di Maria has 4 goals and 2 assists for Benfica, and he's tagged as a forward, priced at 8 million. Currently, current ownership, I'm not sure, but as at the time of tweeting, it was 5%. And his first 3 games are against Salzburg, Inter Milan, and Real Sociedad. So that is one of players that I see that will do well over time, either in game week 1 or match day 1 or match day 3 when they play Real Sociedad at home again. So next player, I'm not sure this is under the radar anymore, but I will call it nonetheless. This is Xavi Simons. 3 goals, 4 assists in his last how many games for Leipzig? I can't remember. He's on form. One of the most informed young assets currently in the world right now. Like, he's on fire. And his price at 6.5 million. There's no need to give you guys the details. Man City have a very easy group. Just Man City, Leipzig, Young Boys, and Cruvena. So Xavi Simons is not even under the radar anymore. So sure, why not? Players to consider again that under the radar is Dumfries. Dumfries, very good international for his country. However, Di Marco seems to shine more on the left wing back position ahead of him. Although he has his own attempts on goal and scores. 5.5 million also as his price, and ownership is about 8% as at the time of posting this though. I'm not sure it could have gone up by now. And he has about 3 clean sheets in the last four games. Yes. And he was involved also with an assist in the 5-1 win against Milan. So yes, 1 goal and 2 assists. He's one of the players I'm looking forward to having, because if Di Marco is actually injured, since it was subbed early or subbed around the 60-minute hour, we might want to have an Inter defender and Dumfries, or some will say, if it's that category of players I want to have or own going forward. Then I mentioned Alec Remino, so I believe that's covered. Then teams to consider: Feyenoord. So if we add the 6 goals from yesterday and 1 assist, 6 goals, 1 assist, that is 19 goals scored, 5 goals considered in their last 5 league games. Whew. Talk about form. Now, I am actually tempted to have more Feyenoord players, not just for game week 1 or match day 1, because Atletico Madrid literally considered 3-0 to Valencia on the weekend. So why not have a Feyenoord attacker for multiple games? Because their group actually doesn't look too difficult for them. Okay, they play Celtic the first game at home, Atletico Madrid away, and Lazio the third game at home again. So why not have 2? I actually have 2 right now. I have Stengs, I have Getruda, and I might be adding, what is this other brother's name? The Luca guy. Who knows? Honestly, I might want to triple. So teams under the radar. Honestly, if you have not been watching a lot of Feyenoord games, you need to pay more attention. Feyenoord, Galatasaray also one of the teams that are also on good form. So as at the time I posted this, they had 12 goals scored. So right now it will be about +4, +2. That is 16 goals scored and 2 goals or 6 goals conceded. And that group is tough, but not really tough. Bayern's defense is washed. Man U defense face a lot of shots as well. Onana yet to get more than a clean sheet. Copenhagen are not really too difficult on paper. Why not? You go gamble or take a punt on your Galatasaray assets. There's Icardi. There is I can't pronounce his name well. There's Ziyech, and there's this other guy that does well. Once Karem God, I can't pronounce his name. I'm very sorry. I'll check for it later. So they have a good number of assets. They still have some other assets that are good on paper that have not been playing regularly, like Zaha, like I think Dombele is also there. I think in defense there's Angelino. In goal they have Muslera. Honestly, that's a very formidable team. Like, if I had this team on Football Manager, I'm going to literally be in top 4. Like, they have a very incredible team. Then Salzburg is also one of those teams I'm looking forward to having. Much later, let's see, game week 3, game week 4, game week 5, if they get their form, if they take their league form into the Champions League and do better, who knows? Time will tell. So with that in mind, let's move into my potential team. I have 7 minutes left on my timer. Let's move into our potential team. So this is me going to gaming.uefa.com. But before then, I actually posted a draft recently. And I don't know if I can find that quickly. But you are here. Gaming.uefa.com. This is my team. I've not made any change for the last 6 to 7 days. And this is how my team looks. So we have Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, Rodrigo. That's my front three as it stands. Stengs, Thuram, Xavi Simons, Julian Kunde, Getrida, and David Ram and Akonji with Blaswich in goal. Then on the bench, Remiro, Saka, Jude Bellingham, and Davies. So that's my current XI. But before I start tweaking around this, I'd like to give one or two tips, because I mentioned this, somebody laughed at it, but whatever, I'll say it again. If you're playing Champions League Fantasy for the first time, hear me out. Hear me. There is no point having Jan Sommer and Kepa together, because Jan Sommer plays on Wednesday 20th, and Sommer plays on Wednesday 20th. So you are putting yourself at a disadvantage of having two keepers. So not able to rotate your keepers is basically a disadvantage to your own self. You need to help yourself by having two rotating keepers that play on different days. Different days, please. Don't pick the same day. Also have a full 15. This is not FPL, so you know FPL, you're always concerned about your main 11. Then you just put a little bit of bench forwarders that can easily get one or two clean sheets and come in and sub. You have the opportunity here to sub out any player that doesn't do well or blanks. So you need a full 15. So now we have that common language out of the way. Let's make our final tweaks to this team and probably wait for injury updates and what have you. I will still do an injury update thread. I think I mentioned that injury updates, suspended players, predicted lineups. I have a list where basically all the teams involved in Europe this year. You can check them out. I check them out and I post. So I will probably share the list later. Nonetheless, this is my team. What tweaks will I make? So João Felix of Barcelona really caught the eye last weekend. He was very high up the pitch, playing so close to Lewandowski. You will be so scared, like, this guy, if I don't have him for the next game that they are playing Antwerp, it will be a disaster. I like the idea of Rodrigo, but it seems like Madrid are doing okay due to the fact that Bellingham is linking up play from the middle up front, and Cavalla and Frank Garcia are also adding up to the attacking force once in a while. So that's what's happening. But I don't know. Even though Union Berlin are not as good as they appear, I would think I would prefer having a Barcelona attacker. Now, Ferran Torres is a good option, but his minutes is also managed. Last minute, Yaman can also start. But I think João Felix is here to stay. They really fought hard to get him in. So why not? 8 million João Felix coming. So that's the tweak I'm making for now. These changes will not be 100% locked in, but at this point, it's just due to early injury updates. Anybody that gets injured is the person that will take out. So I'm most likely going with this team. So in midfield, I don't know what to touch. I don't know. I'm tempted to bring in that Feyenoord attacker that is very pricely. That's priced very low. What is his name again? Luka. Feyenoord attacker. What is his name? Feyenoord attacker. Yes. I mean Feyenoord. So let's go to Luka Ivanusek. It's already 1% ownership as at the time now. So I'm tempted to bring him in. If I bring him in, who will I take out? I can't take Thuram out. I can't take Xavi Simons out. Saka, no. Even though I would like to get more Bayern assets, because that Man U defense, bloody hell. It's not like Bayern defense is any better though, but Man U defense is not good enough. I mean, Brighton outclassed them though, generally, but I want to have another Bayern attacker. So I think I might forgive Davies in defense. So I'm going to leave the midfield for now. So going to defense now, I probably want to have someone else. Either I'm stuck within Davies, Hakimi, the Inter defenders. So I'm not sure. So Davies currently my team. I have 1 million. Where will I put this? Where will I put this money? I honestly don't know what I'm going to change, because this team actually looks perfect to me. The only change here so far is João Felix coming in, and I'm not sure. This is how my team is looking. I don't like overthinking it. So this is where I'm currently, and this is probably where I'll be till I get more updates. Like there are rumors of Blast Switch getting dropped because the original number one is back from injury, but he has been back since the international break and he didn't still start. So luckily we have an early game where Leipzig play first, so we can see the lineup. So this is what my team looks like. I don't know anyone seeing it on YouTube. You can get an overview of what you can shape your team to look like. So this is what my team looks like. The strategy is to probably wildcard immediately, but I created a team where if I feel satisfied, I don't need to wildcard. I can go forward from there because final assets are worth holding after game week 1, match day 1. So I'm tempted to use the diploma strategy where I leave it to game week 3 or 4 and wildcard then use the limitless later. For more details on all this, just check out the strategy video I did recently on YouTube or the thread. There's a thread, it's pinned on my profile. You'll see it there. So this is what my team looks like, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I've covered what I wanted to cover tonight. Top budget picks, to players under the radar, my final team, and what else? Yeah, I've covered most of them. So if you want more stuff like this, kindly follow me on social media. In fact, my link tree is here. You can check it out. Follow me, YouTube, Instagram, podcast, obviously, Spotify, Apple Music, all of them. Twitter as well. Twitter is my main base, so follow me on Twitter and you get more updates. How many minutes do I have left? 13 seconds. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a wrap. We'll see you next time. May your arrows be green. Ciao.